You could certainly be forgiven for thinking the only businesses really kicking goals right now in Australia are those digging up resources or servicing the mining industry. But my next guests are proof it's still possible to grow when you're in the slow lane of the two-speed economy. Daniel Jarosch runs online retailer brandsExclusive, while David Kane is the head of Power Access, a company which rents and sells elevated work platforms. And they're just two of the companies on a list of the 100 fastest growing in the country. It's put together each year by BRW, and editor Kate Mills also joins us. Welcome to all of you. Thanks for coming in. I guess I'll start with you, David. I just want to get a sort of a brief idea of exactly what your company does.
Yep. Power Access, we're a specialist equipment hire company. So our speciality is aerial work platforms, which are scissor lifts, boom lifts, cherry pickers, and we mainly serve the building and construction industry.
So how long have you been around for?
About 3.5 years. We started at the end of 2008.
Right.
And I started from my garage at home, and now we've got 9 or 10 employees. So
why did you, in the middle of the GFC, choose to
Well, I didn't know it was going to be the GFC. I didn't know about that. A lot of people have said that.
Did you read the papers?
But what happened then, I think I'd committed myself too much to the business, and I had set myself goals. And I think while everybody was kind of dooming and glooming, I had no other alternative other than to be positive. And I think that was the key.
So is this your background? I mean, how did you
I was a sales manager. I was a sales manager in a company that sold equipment.
Yeah.
So I decided to, I was predominantly selling to the hire and rental industry, and I decided to, I suppose, join them. And I thought I might be able to do some things better, be a bit more creative. So that's what I decided to do, and I think 3 years on, we're certainly moving and grooving. So it's been a good experience, Yeah.
Daniel, tell us about brandsExclusive.
brandsExclusive is Australia's #1 private shopping club. We sell fashion brands and premium lifestyle products at discounts at up to 80% off to our members. And we have a membership base of 1.7 million members in Australia.
This is your thing. I mean, what you do is you start up online businesses. But why did you choose to go down this path? I know you were involved. You founded Spreet, so you got in with the group buying stuff a while ago. Why sort of this model?
brandsExclusive has been around actually 3 years longer. So we started brandsExclusive in 2008. And it is a business model that has been around in Europe and the US for a while. So we brought it to Australia in 2008 and filled a clear niche for selling premium fashion brands from the brands directly to the consumer at high discounts. So there was no one in Australia that has been doing it at this stage. And it is one of the reasons for success to be in the market early with a good offering.
Kate, explain about the Fast 100. How do you actually measure the growth? What are the metrics?
So what we're looking for here is to find the fastest growing startups in Australia. So we're looking at companies that started after July 30, 2007. And basically we're just measuring who's grown the fastest in revenue since that time. There's a couple of other things that companies to be eligible have to do. They have to have at least 2 years fiscal revenue, and also they have to have revenue of over at least $500,000 and have more than one major client. So that kind of weeds out the true little tiny startups, and we're looking at kind of quite substantial businesses. So we run this every year, and this year we've just come out with our top 100. What's interesting about it is the fact that this year the overall revenue of that top 100 has grown. So last year we had an overall revenue of around $650 million for this group, and this year we've got a revenue of $750 million. So that's quite significant if you consider the sort of economic turmoil and the lack of confidence out in the market. And I think really points to the sort of different business models that a lot of these companies that are using that are disrupting some of the older business models.
And some of the interesting things, I mean, we've got the top 5 companies up there now. I mean, a lot of them probably not household names, but one of the interesting things I thought from looking at some of the companies on this list is the number of retailers. I mean, all we've been hearing for the last 2 years is how tough the retail sector's doing.
Yeah, absolutely, and that really goes to that point about new business models. So you're right, we've got about 10 retailers on the list. Most of them are online retailers, so they don't have that traditional physical structure and those huge overheads. One of the things that really stands out across the whole list is the high use of technology across all those industries. So there's a manufacturer on this list. There are 5 construction companies on this list. And there are some people in the travel industry. These are industries where the traditional old style are suffering, and you're seeing these new challenges come in. One of the big advantages that they have is with the lower overhead structure, they can offer a better price. It used to be that startups actually competed on service. You know, they could give a better, more personalised service to people. What you're seeing now with this new brand of startups is they're actually competing on price. And that's one of the reasons why lots of those traditional old style businesses are really feeling the pain.
Daniel, do you think it's in the online world now it's easier to launch a startup because you don't need the scale of capital as you do to build something bricks and mortar?
Yes, I'd say technology has become easier to access to, and it's a lot easier to launch an online startup. But there's also a different cultures, whereas I think online startups embrace innovation and do new things, and we see that technology also changes the way the consumer shop. Startups often faster and better equipped to address the new consumer behavior, versus old, more traditional businesses that stuck in their old behavior.
David, you must have taken quite a big risk. I imagine starting up your business was quite capital intensive.
Absolutely.
You would have had to have purchased a lot of plant and equipment. I mean, how did you go about getting that sort of capital? And
well, that was challenging, you know. But talking to the banks and, you know, in the economic climate, it was certainly a challenge. You know, we've overcome that. And we just had to grow at we've grown at a fast rate, as you've seen. But it's helped us. It's pulled the reins in a little bit. We've had to be smarter about the way we've done things. Getting the right type of customers. So yeah, there's been challenges, but you know, it's good.
Okay, plenty more to talk about. We're just going to take a quick break and we'll be back with our panel in just a moment.